So for today's video, I've had some more time to play around with the new patch for the Switch version of Mortal Kombat 1, and so this is going to be a follow-up to the video I did a couple days ago. It looks like patch 1.12 was actually way more beneficial to the Nintendo Switch version than what I showed in that video. So for today, we're going to take a bit of a deeper look, but before that, the like button is feeling kind of lonely and would like some attention. So be a dear and hit that real quick. Subscribe to the channel and make sure to check out the description for a link to my Discord where you can set up MK1 matches with other people in the Switch version of Mortal Kombat 1 and other games. We also got a section where you can report any bugs that you find with MK1 for the Switch, but with all that out of the way, let's get into some of the other fixes and new bugs that have come up with patch 1.12. for Mortal Kombat 1 on the Nintendo Switch. So let's start it off with a big one. This is one thing that I never thought was going to be improved this much on the Switch, but it looks like the team at NetherRealm finally did it. So for some context, in previous patches, whenever you would play an online match, if you called a summoning cameo like Serena's boomerang knives, the entire game would slow down. On launch day, that problem was horrible. A few patches later, they toned it down, but it was still pretty noticeable. But in patch 1.12, I was playing some casual matches, and whenever I would call Serena's summoning cameo, I noticed that there wasn't much, if any, slowdown. So I decided to jump into some Combat League matches to see if this issue really was fixed, and to my surprise, it really does look like the summoning cameo slowdown has been completely eliminated. There were several times in matches where I would use both cameo bars just to see if I felt any slowdown, and nope. If there was any, then it was very minor. Because you gotta remember, in older patches, the slowdown was pretty much in your face and you couldn't help but notice it. So kudos to NetherRealm for really putting in the effort on the Switch version. Things are getting way better. The character select screen in casual mode no longer lags whenever you're cycling through the characters, and a new thing was added where when you jump into a new casual match, the last character that you and your opponents used will already be highlighted. The character models do still take time to load, which I believe is not going to be fixed, so I wouldn't expect that if I were you. And sometimes they don't load at all until after you select them. This might be why it no longer lags when you're cycling through the characters, which in my opinion is a good compromise. I still think they should just remove the moving character models and replace them with still images. Speaking of the character select screen, I'm not sure if this applies to casual mode, but I noticed that when you're in the character select screen for training mode, sometimes the roster characters will have their full walk-in animations. Here you can see Liu Kang coming in with a dragon. I don't remember that being a thing before. However, as you can see here for casual matches, the game session is no longer available. Disconnection problem is still pretty prevalent, even in the new patch. Desynchronizations in Combat League were fixed in the last patch and are still fixed now. There was a pretty big problem with the graphics in MK1 for the Switch a few patches ago, where if you played the game for a while, the visuals would deteriorate and the textures would not load at all. They would stay that way until the game was rebooted, but I have not noticed that problem in the last two patches and it's still gone now. And as you can see here, I already completed the shrine. It was pretty much just some skins, combat cards, and some gear parts. It wasn't really any interesting stuff, but I did like the new Raiden skin. Now, whenever you're in training mode and you go into the Nintendo Switch home menu and then you go back into the game, you get a nice little animation. That was not there before. Now let's get into some of the bugs that are present in the game. Here we can see Melina's Shiva Ranatai skin. She has no hair at all. She's completely bald under the headdress, and this is with every single variation of the Shiva Ranatai skin. In training mode, Peacemaker's Eagly sometimes gets stuck if you reset while Eagly is still on screen. In the combo challenges, sometimes the notations will disappear completely. That made trying to learn some of the harder Peacemaker combos pretty annoying. In my Discord, a user submitted this picture of Gearus's all our yesterday's gear part not appearing, and it would appear that that has been fixed in the new patch. Or at the very least, I wasn't able to recreate it, so it doesn't do it all the time. I'm not sure whether he submitted this before or after the new patch, but I wasn't able to recreate it in the new patch. Another member of my Discord submitted this bug with Sindel. Sindel seems to have an unintentional invulnerability with her F1, where if she whiffs it, you still can't punish her. In the image that Jake submitted, we see that Shao Kahn's axe goes straight through her. But again, when I tried to recreate it in training mode with the new patch, I was not able to. Havik Scabbed Over and Revolutionary Fervor gear parts are still bugged. Hilariously so, he has no hair at all. In my last video, I reported that King of the Hill crashes were fixed because that's what it said in the patch notes, but there was a comment in that video saying that it does still crash. No one else in my Discord has reported any other King of the Hill crashes, so maybe it was a one-off thing for him. Sub-Zero's invisible ice clone bug has been fixed. With the replay menu, you can no longer view another player's Nintendo Switch profile. You can only see their combat card. In previous patches, you used to be able to view their Switch profile and send them a friend invite or block them if you wanted to, but that's no longer possible in patch 1.12. I've noticed a new issue where sometimes if you go from dock mode into handheld mode, the game will disconnect from the online and then you won't be able to connect it back until you relaunch the game. It's just gonna hang until eventually it'll say that it can't get a response from the Mortal Kombat 1 server. This was not a problem before. It might also have something to do with going from Ethernet to Wi-Fi, but again, I used to be able to just go from TV to handheld without it disconnecting. But in any case, and if it did disconnect, then I could just reconnect it back. But I don't usually play handheld mode anyway, but for those who do, hopefully this gets fixed. Well, this was a pretty big patch for Mortal Kombat 1 on the Nintendo Switch. Performance-wise, it is night and day from what it was the last patch, and it's leagues above what it was on launch day. It's so much better now, but this new patch did present some new problems that hopefully get fixed somewhere down the road. The game session disconnection bug in casual mode, hopefully that gets fixed ASAP. And with all that being said, that's going to be it for this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to keep bringing you more combo videos, online matches, and video game news. I'm Switchplayed. Make America great again.